The hallway in front of Kinzo's study was filled with the scent of sweet poison, peculiar to that green liquor. Genji, who was completely used to it, did not grimace. And the Golden Witch didn't grimace either.
この中からどれほど出ぬのか。
すでに数年になるかと思います。
それほどまでにわらわをカゴの鳥としたいか。哀れな。それを願うそなたが書斎の亡霊ではないか。それに気づけぬとは哀れな男よ。
あなた様と再びお会いする日まではおそらく文字通り亡霊となっても研究を続け。
愛か狂気か猛襲か。それも講じれば魔力となるか。悲しき魔術師よ。
The witch grasped the doorknob to the study. When she did, there was a sound like that of flesh burning and splitting open. It was the sound of the doorknob literally burning the witch's hand.
ベアトリーチェ様。
なんだこれは。魔除けか。あやつめ。こんなものに頼らなければ。
Damn,
その扉は
I've never seen her look so shocked
お辛い
before.
ものと伺っております。私がお開けいたしましょうか。
いや。
That face. No, it's fine.
あやつが勝てばわらわは永遠のカゴの鳥。あやつが負ければ愛に狂い全てを失った哀れな魔術師の生涯が笑い草となって残るだけ。もはや金蔵もわらわさえもゲーム盤に並べられた駒に過ぎぬ。あとはルーレットの目が勝敗を分けるだけよ。ルーレットが目を見せるまでわらわと金蔵が再会する必要はない。
The witch looked at her hand, which was beginning to heal bit by bit, even though it had been horribly burned.
あるいはそのための魔除けなのか。なるほど。それもまた潔し。すべては今や金蔵のゲーム盤の上よ。気に入ったぞ金蔵。そなたとのゲーム。わらわに恋焦がれすべての生涯を投げ出したローマ術師の最後のギャンブル。その散りざまを楽しませてもらうぞ。
Okay. 1 hour later. Okay. Things are definitely changing up. I'm very curious to see where we go from here.
誰か。失礼いたします。昼食をお持ちいたしました。入れ。失礼いたします。
Oh, what? Beatrice has her own room now? After receiving approval, Kanon entered the VIP room, pushing the serving cart that carried lunch. The servants called this room the Witch's VIP room. That was because Kinzo strictly ordered that it always be kept clean so that it could be used at any time. Even so, guests would not be allowed into this room no matter who they were. That's why, at some point, the servants had started calling it the VIP room, which was supposed to be set aside only to welcome the special person Kinzo waited for. The witch from that portrait. And today, Kanon realized that this was absolutely true. When he entered the room, the blonde-haired witch was gazing out the window. Outside, the rain was no longer falling weakly. As she looked out at the beautiful rose garden, which had been tended to over several days for today's sake, as she saw the winds and rain ravage it, she was struck by some sentimental feelings. Kanon was not able to tell anything more from her back, which faced him.
お食事の用意をさせていただきます。ベアトリーチェ様。
Kanon went out of his way to call out the witch's name, hoping that she'd turn around. He wanted to know. He wanted to know if the witch who tempted him in Shannon in the past had really appeared again. When he did, the witch whose name had been called laughed, her back still facing him. Holding back her voice, she laughed. Kanon was startled. It was almost as though she had read his mind and knew that he had called out to her, hoping to make her turn around.
良い匂いだな。どうやらクラウスは良い料理人を入れたと見える。
はい、近年入ったゴーダという料理人です。
料理の腕が良きことは何にも勝るものよ。美食は人の世で生きる快楽の山中をなす。千年を飽きぬにはこれを欠かさぬが秘訣よ。
Kanon and the witch's eyes met. Then she grinned. Without a doubt, certainly, this was clearly the witch from that day, Beatrice. The witch that no one but he and Shannon could see in the past finally held a form and had arrived openly as a guest through the entrance hall.
ベアトリーチェ様。
久しぶりよの。家具のカノン。
お久しぶりでございます。
Kanon tried to remember to be polite to this guest for the time being. But the visit of this suspicious witch made dark clouds start to enshroud his heart, especially considering that today was the family conference.
何をしに現れたのかと気が気でならぬと見える。
I wonder why.
そうであろう。
Kanon didn't force an answer. This witch probably reads minds, so it's pointless to go to the trouble of saying it out loud. Of course, she could read even his inner resistance. So the witch giggled at Kanon's childish defiance.
金蔵との最後の約束を果たしに来た。
親方様との最後の約束。
わらわは金蔵に、いやそれを金蔵が放棄するとき、わらわは利子をつけて返却を受けることになっておる。今宵それをもらい受けに来た。
僕には何の話かわかりません。
However, uncertainty began to gather in his heart. Whatever this witch had to say couldn't be anything good.
違いない。魔女の話にろくなものはないぞ。そなたは正しい。されど魔女とハサミは使いようだ。ソロモン王のように偉業を成し遂げる者も時にはおる。最も多くの場合は童話が語るようにろくな目には合わんがな。しかし金蔵も食えぬ。わらわの利子の取り立てすらも自らの儀式に取り込みおった。わらわをも超えるとてつもない大魔術師か。さもなければ狂気に取りつかれたただの知れ者か。面白い。実に面白い。
Kanon couldn't guess what the witch was muttering and laughing about. All he knew was that anything that made this witch laugh must have the exact opposite meaning for everyone else. And in the back of his mind, the horrifying words the witch had spat at him in the past began to resurface. What, did you think I'd lend you my power and ask for nothing in exchange? I'll gladly assist a pair in love, and in exchange I'll enjoy watching the cruel fate they'll eventually meet. I've never come across a better show, not over the course of 1,000 years. Ha 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 ha.
Masaka, お前は
What? What did I miss? What did I miss? Does Kanon know something I don't? Gladly assist a pair in love. In exchange, I'll enjoy watching the cruel fate they'll eventually meet. Oh, is this something to do with... Is he worried about fucking Shannon and, George? Is that where his worries lie? It makes sense.
懐かしき故郷を貫く鮎の川。 黄金鏡を目指す者よ。これを下りて鍵を探せ。
The witch suddenly began to recite a bizarre poem. It was something he remembered hearing.
それはまさか魔女の碑文。
There was no mistake. It was the epitaph that accompanied the portrait of the witch Kinzo had put on display. The relatives had guessed that it referred to the location of the hidden gold, but no one knew what it meant for sure. The witch suddenly began reciting that epitaph.
カノン、家具である貴様なら金蔵から聞いていよう。すべてを黄金鏡へ返す日がやってきたのだ。喜ぶがいい。
This music really does, like, just this very simple fucking ambient music. It just really sends chills down the spine.
お前の恥辱にまみれた家具の日々がようやく終わる時がやってきたのだ。お前はそれをずっと望んできたはず。自らに存在価値を持たぬ家具にとってただ存在するだけの日々は苦痛に他ならない。魂ある者にとってうつしおは固執すべきものだが、亡き者にとってうつしおは苦害でしかないからのう。
Complicated expressions flitted across Kanon's face. This was the day of release that Kanon had been looking forward to. However, the coming of this day had been mercilessly sudden. And for some reason, he didn't like the hateful tone used by this witch as she informed him of the coming of this long-awaited day of rest. Kanon couldn't even decide what emotion he should be feeling.
なぜに喜ばぬ。
Why aren't you celebrating?
それともうつしおに何かの未練があるというのか。
Oh ho.
家具の分際で。
未練などない。僕は家具だから。
貴様は実に模範的な家具だな。よいよい。しかし何の未練もないとはつくづく面白みのない。
未練こそが
Of course.
お前の快楽だというのか。
You think she finds pleasure in positive emotions? I think you know better by now,
そ
Kanon.
の通り。1000年も生きると大抵の魔女は生き飽きる。わらわは退屈から逃れるために人間たちの運命にブランデーや果実を練り込みケーキのように焼き上げるのだ。オーブンの中で苛烈な運命に踊る人間たちのなんと面白きこと。わらわはこの方面にかけてはちと知られていてな。わらわの料理の腕を見に時には遠方から珍客が見物に来ることすらあるくらいよ。言っても家具ごときには理解できるか。
Furniture doesn't know how to cook. Kanon couldn't understand what the witch was saying. However, he fully realized that this was a terrifying being who treated the fate of humans as a show. What do you mean? Oh, he fully realized that? Like, how did you not realize this sooner? She was a terrifying being who found fucking enjoyment in, watching people go through oppressive shit. Like, I think we kind of already figured this out with y'all's little backstory earlier. Like, why all of a sudden he's like, oh my god, she's evil. Like, yeah, we been new. We been new, Kanon. This ain't new information, my guy. Enjoying it whenever some harm befell them. Yeah, we know. However, furniture has no soul or life, much less a fate. Pitiful furniture does nothing but serve until the day they're released from the real world, which is why she sought out these two specifically, before this conference. To furniture like that, the witch, who had come to release them from everything, was a being to be received with overflowing affection. Even though the day Kanon should have been waiting impatiently for it had come, he was confused by his own inability to accept it easily. Why was it? The face of Shannon, the person he loved as a sister, rose to his mind. For some reason, Jessica's face did too. Kanon bit his lower lip hard enough that it hurt. Thinking about Jessica like that was something furniture must never do. Even though he thought he'd known that, even though he'd complained about Shannon's relationship, why was it that Jessica rose into his mind at a time like this? 'Cause you're a man. You like titties. It's okay. Accept it. But furniture doesn't have hormones. And he felt a little shameful at his own naivety, and to forget about Jessica, he turned his thoughts to Shannon. Shannon is also furniture. She has no reason not to rejoice at the coming of the day when all will return to nothingness. But Shannon, through her relationship with George, has experienced an emotion forbidden to furniture: horniness. Even though she isn't qualified to be bonded with him, she's still trapped in a dream that she isn't allowed to have. Will Shannon be able to joyfully accept this development? No, she won't. Shannon still has lingering regrets. Those will probably become a great source of pain and torture for her. And those lingering regrets were planted by none other than this witch. Why? I think it's very obvious why. Because that would be more interesting. Nothing more.
シャノンは待ちわびていたはずの日に知ってはならない感情を持ち、とても辛い思いを強いられるだろう。僕たち家具を解放する日を手土産に
Yeah.
訪れてくれたあなたに
She
感
knows
謝す
you're
る。
lying, but don't give her the satisfaction. I can respect it. She can see through. She knows it's like, oh, but you care about Shannon. You, and some part of you still cares about Jessica as well. But he's like, yes. Even so, fuck you. I'm very glad that today has come.
そして
Oh,
シャノンにその
oh,
日を
even
受け
slying
入
in
れ
some
がたくしたお
fucking
前を憎む。
spite at her. Yeah. Just saying, fuck you. Thank you and fuck you. I'm out.
お前もシャノン同様に未練に苦しませてやりたかった
But see,
ぞ。
that's the thing, Kanon. When you tell her, hey, fuck you, she feeds off of that. It's more that negativity that she loves. You say, yeah, thank you for this day, but also fuck you for doing this to Shannon. And she's like, oh, yeah, come on, tell me to fuck off, boy. Do it. Yeah, I love that shit. Give me more. Give me more. Give me more of that shit.
し
Yeah, with
か
her.
しお前は愚直に家具であり続け、わらわに籠絡されることもなかった。しかしシャノンを慕いすぎたようだな。シャノンの未練がそなたの未練となる。
Oh ho.
それはわらわへの憎悪へと変わるのか？
I mean, yes. Beatrice, were you not listening? He clearly just said, I hate you.
わらわを殺したくば殺してみるがよい。金蔵の家具ならばその程度の力は持っていよう。しかしわらわを殺せば家具どもに安息の日は永遠に訪れぬぞ。そなたにそれが耐えられるのか？わらわによる解放を本当に拒むことができるのか？ひざまずけ。
何を？
ひざまずき、わらわの靴に口づけをするがよ。さもなくば、わらわはこの場を立ち去ろうぞ。
Oh. He's like, oh, you really want this release that you say you want? You really want you and the rest of the furniture to be released? Then be my bitch.
帰りて永遠に姿を現さん。のうか、そなたはそれに耐えられるのか？ 黄金鏡の扉が開かれれば、そなたの苦難に満ちた家具の生は終わろう。望むならば、人間としての生を与えてもよい。さすれば、もはやジェシカとは対等。貴様も知りたいはずだ。恋の味や。
Yes, love. That's what he's trying to get a taste of. Uh-huh.
隠そうとも知っておるぞ。甘き恋の沼にて溺れるシャノンを見て、そなたは羨ましがっている。恋の味を知りたくてうずうずしておるのよ。
やめろ、やめろ。僕を再び籠絡するつもりか。僕はお前を楽しませるためのおもちゃになり果てたりしない。
ほう、ならばシャノンで満足するとしよう。蒔いた種はそなただけではないのでな。
I don't like that phrasing.
時には実を結ばぬ果実もある。鍵を手にせし者は以下に従いて黄金鏡へ旅立つべし。第一の番に鍵の選びし6人を生贄に捧げよ。第二の番に残されし者は寄り添う2人を引き裂け。
The witch recited the epitaph again. It was so sudden, diverged so strongly from the current topic. However, that challenging smile made it seem almost as though she was using the epitaph as a threat against Kanon. Oh. Okay. Is this time around, Kanon and Shannon are going to be the two that are close? And the tearing apart won't necessarily be the same as it was the first time around. Like the first time, you know, the two that were close were torn apart in the sense that they were torn away from the main group. But now is it going to be in the sense that these two that are close will be torn apart in the sense that, you know, there'll be like this sense of resentment between them. Kanon wanting to, you know, finally be released as furniture, be released, whereas Shannon, she wants to stay and be with George and, you know, break out of being furniture and wants to be fully human and whatnot. And this is going to create this rift between them and tear them apart, so to say. I'm just saying, that seems like that's the vibes I'm picking up here. So, is George going to be one of the first 6 then? Something like that? Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting. It's like George is going to be one of the first 6, and somehow, some way, that's going to create a rift between Kanon and Shannon, and that's going to make them the two that are close being torn apart. At least that's the theory I'm sticking with for now.
わからぬか。この碑文の儀式を成し遂げるには、第二の番に寄り添う2人を生贄に捧げねばならぬ。
Or is she saying that? Oh God, I almost said Jessica. George and Shannon are the two that will be close. In the same way that, you know, Ava and Hideyoshi were close in the sense that, you know, they're in a relationship, so would George and Shannon. So so are Ava and Hideyoshi gonna be part of the first 6? And, you know, Shannon's gonna be there for, like, you know, emotional support for George. And, you know, she's gonna want to be there for him. Kanon's gonna try to, you know, dissuade her from doing that. Like, no, Shannon, you can't stop trying to be close to him. It's only gonna make things worse. She's gonna say, fuck you. And then she and George are gonna go separate from the group. They're gonna be torn apart the same way Ava and Hideyoshi were in the first episode. And then they're gonna meet a similar fate. Okay, so now I got 2 theories rolling around in my brain. Let's see where we go with this.
寄り添う2人は誰でもよい。
That is true. And maybe neither of these are what's gonna happen. It's up to chance, you know? The whole fucking Demon's Roulette or whatever the fuck it's called. It could be, you know, could be Kanon and Shannon, could be Shannon and George. Fuck. It could be Rudolph and Kyrie. Could be Kraus and Nazi. Doesn't necessarily have to be the 2 in this room. Or the 2 in this room. The people connected to Kanon. Yeah, we don't fucking know. But she's just saying, like, you know, it could be. It could be.
夫婦でもよいし、 恋人同士でもよい。誰を選ぶかは儀式のルールにのっとり、わらわが気まぐれに決めてよいことになっている。今のシャノンならこれほどふさわしい第二の番の生贄もないとは思わぬか。
卑劣な。
Kanon realized something. Until today, he thought he'd given up everything else and lived as furniture, acting like furniture. But in reality, that wasn't true. He loved Shannon too dearly. Therefore, when Shannon was in pain, Kanon shared in that. If only Shannon had continued to live as furniture. Indifferently like Kanon, without any regrets in this world, he wouldn't have had to be in so much pain. The witch planned to toy with Shannon, who had known the taste of love. No, whom she had taught the taste of love, as she killed her. She wouldn't be welcomed into the Golden Land and granted a compassionate release. Instead, if the witch had her way, she'd be used as a sacrifice, subjected to the utmost of torture and pain, and forcibly turned into a human foundation for this evil ceremony. And this witch would probably make Shannon meet this horrible fate, for no reason other than that it was amusing to her. Furthermore, she was threatening to do so that she could make Kanon, who had never submitted to the witch, finally give in. It was that simple. In the end, though, he had tried to resist the witch and avoid pleasing her. He'd only made things more amusing for her. After all, he was furniture. No, a toy. They were nothing but toys meant only to distract her from her boredom.
どうするカノン。ひざまずけばシャノンを生贄に選ぶことを控えることはないぞ。
Stay strong! Tell her to eat dicks, Kanon!
お前のような玩具を
Stay
一度
determined!
屈服させてみた
My
か
man.
った。
You can do it! I believe in you! Without even a fragment of elegance, the witch sneered at Kanon and laughed indecently. That's right. She predicted Kanon's submission even before he'd made that decision himself. Kanon chose to get down on both knees in front of the witch. No, Kanon! My man! Didn't matter what happened to himself. However, the one thing he couldn't bear to see. God damn it, Kanon, you think she's gonna abide by that? She said, oh, well, if you do this, I might consider not picking her. She's totally gonna pick her just to fucking spite you. Like, look, you fucking, she's gonna do it too. She's gonna do it. She's gonna be like, look, you embarrassed yourself, made you look like a goddamn idiot, humiliated you, and I still murdered your sister. What are you gonna do about it, you punk ass bitch? Ha 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 ha. Go ahead, tell me that's not what she's gonna do. Go ahead, tell me. Go ahead. You're wrong. That's what she's gonna do. But Shannon, who had given him his only reason to live during his days as furniture, being toyed with like this. That was why kissing the shoes of the witch was an easy oath for Kanon to make. It's not an oath, because she didn't guarantee anything. She didn't say that she would do it. She said, maybe. When his quivering lips actually touched the witch's shoe, she kicked him in the face. Beatrice let a look of ecstasy rise to her face, then laughed with a voice filled to bursting. At that moment, the witch, who had grown bored of life after 1,000 years, was completely filled with the evil emotion that she lived for. Count on my man. Count on. You should have stayed strong, my guy. You should have stayed strong. My guy.